Hi you guys, and welcome back to another video. How did we come up with the name Romeo? What was my reaction to his hair? How am I doing mentally? Do you have any trips planned? And the answer is yes. What do you have planned for 2025 for the beach club? I'm like, do I just spill all my tea to you guys right now? I can share some, but I feel like I have to keep one a secret. Can I show you guys a sneak peek? Do you guys want to see a little sneak peek of something that might be coming? It has been so long, I feel like, since I've like sat down and talked to the camera. Besides my video last week, like, I just feels like I'm so out of the game. I was telling Natalie, I'm like, I feel out of the game. So this is me. I'm slowly getting back into the game. I haven't really been doing much besides like taking care of my baby. And so I was like, well, I feel like a fun video would be like me just like sitting down, doing a little like chit chat, catch up with you guys. Cause I'm like, do you even know what's been going on in my life for the last 3 weeks? I haven't been posting on YouTube. So I'm very happy to be back. I appreciate all of your comments. I feel like I see your guys' comments on like TikTok and Instagram being like, we missed your vlog. I miss it too. So I'm very happy to be back. I asked you guys kind of on Instagram some questions while I like get ready. I'm just gonna answer some of those and also show you guys all the makeup I've been obsessed with. Maybe I have to rapid fire this. And my baby is literally sleeping behind this. Okay, my first product that I'm using is the Hourglass like skin tint, and I have been obsessed with this lately. The first question I want to answer is, how is the baby doing? Romy's doing great. He, honestly, I feel like he's just your classic newborn. Loves to sleep, loves to eat, grunts a lot. You'll probably hear him, he might start crying, but he's just sleeping right now in his little swing. A lot of people have also asked me about breastfeeding, and I was kind of like debating talking about this because I know it's like people are very passionate about it, which is fine. I almost was like scared to post about it because I'm not breastfeeding, and I was like, oh, I don't want people to judge me or do whatever. So I'm not gonna talk about it, but you know what? I'm gonna talk about it because it kind of ties into like how he's doing. But when he was born, he was 8 pounds 1 ounce, and then he dropped like basically a full pound in the hospital because breastfeeding was just literally not working. He wouldn't latch, he didn't like it, whatever. And so then I came home and we had our like doctor's appointment, our like first doctor's appointment, like after you come home from the hospital. They were basically like, yeah, he's like still not gaining weight, so we want you to like put him on formula. And I was really sad at first, and I tried pumping as well, which I was able to pump and like get milk and everything, and it's almost like he like didn't like it. And maybe it's because the doctor told us to like start formula to help like get his weight up and stuff, because all babies like lose weight. That's like a normal thing. They were just saying that he lost too much basically, and she's like, yeah, you can still breastfeed. I was like, okay, so I'll just like do both. Babies just will like choose one or the other that they like better. So even when he didn't latch, I was like pumping and doing whatever, and I still just kind of feel like he would literally drink his formula bottle in like 20 minutes, and then he would take like 2 hours to drink the same amount of my pumped breast milk. I only used the formula that I had because I randomly had this can sitting at my house. The brand By Heart just happened to like send me some beforehand, and I knew you were just supposed to have some formula on hand, but I was like, I'm not really gonna need it because I'm gonna breastfeed. Romy had other plans. You know what? He's happy. He loves the formula. He's gaining weight. He's healthy. He's perfect. So I'm like, he's just gonna be a formula baby, and that's okay. Also, I apologize in advance because I wanted to make this video like a generic Q&A, but I feel like every question I got that was coming in was all like baby related. So not all of them, but a lot of them. I'm using Tarte Shape Tape in the shade medium 35N, and I actually got this when I was in New York and Tarte did my makeup, which is such an iconic thing to say. The next question is, how did we come up with the name Romeo? Honestly, I always thought that I was going to be the one to like come up with his name, but Isaac thought of the name, which again, I was so surprised because I was like, oh no, for sure, I will just be the one to name him. I think we were on a flight home from Kansas City, and we were watching the Romeo and Juliet movie, Leonardo DiCaprio version. We had looked at all the like baby name lists online. Nothing really felt right, and if you want to see all the baby names that we like were thinking about but didn't choose, I made a whole TikTok on that, so you should go look at that. Honestly, we were just watching that movie, and Isaac was like, what about the name Romeo? And I was kind of just like, kind of sick, like I like it. We had a few other names that we were like thinking about, and so honestly for the next 2 days we were kind of like, oh, this or that, but we were like, nothing sounds better or makes more sense than Romeo to us. It was almost like immediately when Isaac said that, we were both like, that's it, like we absolutely love it. The next question is, out of all of the seasons, which one is your favorite? Guys, I feel like this should be pretty obvious. I'm a summer girl through and through. Original 2020 Visco. C1 forever. I just love summer. That's why I live in Florida, because I love the warmth. Okay, this next one is a great question. What was my reaction to his hair? If you didn't know, my son is a precious little strawberried, orange-haired boy. When he was first coming out, they're like, oh, it's blonde, it's curly. And I was like, it's blonde and curly? And so obviously I was like, oh my gosh, blonde and curly. But then they were like, wait, it's red. And I was like, what? Red wasn't even in the equation for me. Like Natalie and I were kind of like debriefing after I gave birth and she was like, I just didn't even think red hair. And I was like, no, me neither. I just feel like it was such like a genuine shock. I feel like I'm still shocked when I like see him. I'm like, how do I have like a beautiful strawberry blonde king? I don't know. Like I feel like my reaction was just pure shock. The next question is, how am I doing mentally? Which, thank you. A lot of the questions were like, how are you doing? We wanna know how you're doing mentally, whatever. And I've talked on TikTok a little bit about like my emotions and just like postpartum depression and all of this stuff. And I think I'm still like in the early stages. I'm like 4 weeks postpartum now. So I'm 5 weeks now. I guess that's not really early. Whether you call that early or not, I don't know. I have good days and I have bad days. I feel like there's days where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel so good. Like I'm back to normal. I'm not feeling any different emotionally. And then I feel like there are some days where I'm like, what is happening? If anything, I just get so overwhelmed or overstimulated so much easier now. Like I don't really know why. Obviously, I think it's just like hormones and also just lack of sleep. I think too definitely is a huge factor in like my emotions and all of that stuff. People are asking me how he sleeps. I feel like pretty good, but still he's a newborn baby. So like I'm waking up at like 2 a.m. and I'm up for like an hour and then I'm such a light sleeper. So like when Isaac does his next shift, I just wake up for it anyways. I don't feel like I'm sleeping very well and I feel like that doesn't help kind of like my emotional state that's going on. I'm not a huge like eyeshadow person, but I do love this palette from Tarte. I love Tarte so much. They're one of my favorite makeup brands. I love all their tropical trips. I just told you guys that I'm like a summer visco girl, so I'm just putting that out there in the universe for no specific reason. Next question, how is life in the new house? Honestly, it's great. We have been doing construction on our kitchen for like a long time. Like basically the entire time that I was pregnant, our kitchen was being renovated and I didn't really have a true kitchen. But now that it's finally done, I do love it so much. But my kitchen is like my dream. Isaac and I basically designed it from like scratch. I love our checkered floors. I love our blue cabinets. And then our pool in our backyard is also done. It really hasn't been like warm enough for me to like go swim or tan out there since it's been finished, which is kind of so rude of Florida. Now that like everything is basically done at our house, we're settled in with the baby. I feel like it truly is amazing. I still use my tried and true Thrive. I did just get my eyelashes lifted and tinted, and that is one of my like favorite things to do because when I put mascara on, I feel like it just goes on so perfectly. My eyelashes are like naturally straight, where like everybody else's curls, mine just naturally go straight. So it's a game changer when I put mascara on. Next question is, how are you managing your friendships with having a newborn? I feel very lucky because I feel like I have really good friends, to be honest. A lot of people say that your friendships struggle when you have a newborn baby, and I definitely am like, I'm not hanging out with my friends quite as much, and it's only been a month, so like it's not that crazy. But I do really feel like there's just like seasons where you will put in more effort and friends will put in more effort because it's just like you're both going through life. And so I'm like, there were seasons, you know, where I would drive to, you know, Tampa and St. Pete and like kind of over where like a lot of my friends live. It was just easier that way because it's like, oh, they all have babies, and it was just kind of easier for me to drive over there. Now it's kind of like, oh, it's my season. I can't really like drive over there like every other weekend like I wish I could. They're driving over here, like they came to the hospital to see me, like they're putting in the effort. So I feel like it just like ebbs and flows. Like that's how it should be, like both sides like putting in effort in the friendship. So I feel very, very grateful. Look at that. My eyelashes look so long. What I love is it doesn't look like clump. Like it really separates it when I get my eyelashes done. This question is my favorite. They said, do you have any trips planned? And the answer is yes. I'm like, do I just spill all my tea to you guys right now? I can share some, but I feel like I have to keep one a secret. I feel like for the last like 3 years, Natalie, Hannah, and I have done some sort of like January cold beach trip, which cold is relative, like based on where you live. 40s and 50s right now in Florida. And I think it's even gonna be in the 30s when we're there. We're basically staying in this really cute and cozy Airbnb that's like right on the beach. It's not really gonna be like a tanning all day in the sun trip. It's more like very cozy, girl time. We're gonna crochet, we're gonna wear sweaters, we're gonna drink tea, be little grandmas by the sea and enjoying friend time. So I'm very excited for that. We're actually doing that in South Florida, and I'm bringing Romy, which I'm so excited about. This is his first girls trip. So actually it's not even a girls trip, Isaac is going, all the guys are going, but this is just his first trip. So I'm very excited. The next trip we're going on is, I'm speaking this into existence. So if the Chiefs win this weekend, we will be going to Kansas City for the AFC Championship game. Isaac is so excited about that. I mean, I'm a little bit scared to fly with a newborn, so if you have any suggestions, please drop it below on flying with a baby. I know a lot of people do it. I know Rachel has like flown with Isla a lot, so I maybe need to ask her some tips. After that, I do have spring breaky trip planned with also Natalie and Hannah. So that I'm very excited about. It's booked. We need to buy plane tickets still, but just think tropical, gorgeous island, blue Kool-Aid water. That's all you need to know, but just know I'm so excited for that. Next question is, what do you have planned for 2025 for the beach club? And I will say it has been hard navigating work and being a mother and everything with a newborn baby. So I do kind of feel like the beach club has suffered a little bit. I mean, not majorly, but can I show you guys a sneak peek? Do you guys want to see a little sneak peek of something that might be coming? Okay, that's all the sneak peek that you're getting. That's coming end of January. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be showing you guys that, but hey, I make the rules, so sue me. But then I also just kind of finalized some of our swim stuff for this year, and I'm so excited. I think you guys are gonna be obsessed. So just keep your eye on that for the summer. It's really cute, and I think you guys are gonna be obsessed. Someone asked where his middle name come from, and his name is Romeo Ray, and his middle name actually came from Isaac's dad because his middle name is Ray. And also my sister-in-law, Sydney, her son's middle name is Ray. And I was just obsessed with the middle name Ray. And I was like, oh, like Sydney already like is using it for Jameson. And Isaac was like, just text her about it. I was like, okay. So I texted her, I was like, hey, like, what are your thoughts on like me also using the middle name Ray? And she was like, oh my gosh, Greta, I would love that. It would be so cute if the cousins had the same middle name. I would love it. And I was like, okay. So I was so happy that she was like cool with it. Someone said coffee or energy drinks. We should know this by now. Energy drinks. I don't like coffee, but I feel like I'm entering my new era of motherhood. Like I feel like I need to like coffee. Like maybe I need to like start trying different flavors. Like maybe I need to like try sweet coffee. Like I don't know, but I feel like maybe 2025 is my year of like starting to like coffee. I know someone who could help me with that. Nat's Cafe. Then the last question, I'm gonna end on a funny one because I'm done. Oh, and this is what I used. I feel like I get pimples around my lip and I just got a facial, and she was like, oh, it's probably from your lip products. And I was like, and she says, I always use Laneige. She's like, Laneige makes you break out. Unfortunately, she did say this makes you break out, which I'm very sad about. So I don't know what to do with that. She said Summer Fridays is pretty clean. And then she says, just use Aquaphor. And I was like, okay. Anyways, last question, which I think is very funny. What did you do with your belly button piercing throughout the pregnancy? I really wanted to keep my belly button piercing in for as long as possible. I was like, oh my gosh, like I think Vanessa Hudgens or something kept her belly button piercing in like basically her entire pregnancy. And I was like, I love that because I just love it. And I feel like my belly button piercing is me. But I think I was like 18 or like 20 weeks, and then like my belly was starting to grow a little bit. The skin was like stretching obviously, and it honestly started to hurt. And so I was like, okay. I thought the only reason people took them out is because like they were just scared of how it would look. But once it started to hurt, I was like, oh, this isn't worth it. I'm gonna take it out. Right now, I'll give you guys my belly button update. Do you want that? It just is like, there's nothing. This is my postpartum belly, by the way. There's no, like, it's just a hole in my belly button. But I really want to put it back in. It didn't rip or anything like that, which everybody's like, oh, it's gonna rip, it's gonna do whatever. I'm like, it just looks the same. I think it's time I put it back in now. I definitely need to put it back in before my cozy beach trip, for sure. Because I'm gonna be in a swimsuit, which I'm a little scared too, but who cares about my body? That's the least interesting thing about me. I'm just there for the good vibes and a cute swimsuit and a pretty sunset. So on that note, I love you guys. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's not probably like my normal like travel, week of my life, like sunset swim, beep bop beep, but I'm still getting back in the swing of things, just to know, getting there day by day. But I'm very excited for my upcoming trips. I feel like that does help my mental. I'm very thankful for my friends. I'm thankful for you guys. I'm just happy to be back and feeling like I'm doing things again. I'm productive. But anyways, I love you guys and I'm so thankful to be back. So thank you for watching up to this point. If you did, you're a real one. I love you, and I will see you in the next video.